The British were notorious for their stubborn attachment to an independent home, however gaunt and squalid. But a new solution was looming, an institution which epitomised the very opposite of home, the workhouse. I'm in Southall in Nottinghamshire, approaching what looks like another neoclassical mansion, but in fact, this is a prototype of a new model workhouse. Behind this symmetrical facade is a pitiless and soulless institution. You have to imagine a great flow of humanity through here. People must have been absolutely destitute to throw themselves on the tender mercies of the workhouse. It was in these buildings that everybody was processed. Then they'd be categorised. Are they able-bodied, working poor, or are they old and infirm? They'd be stripped of their clothes, deloused, depersoned really, and given a very regulation uniform. And then what I think is the final act, really, of mercilessness is they were separated, men and women, and then the women from the children. So women in here, but through the adjoining yard, its counterpart, the men's yard. I might be a sentimentalist, but I can't help but imagine the matrimonial agony, really. Husbands and wives separated from each other. These are all systems, really, of deterrence. It's about selection, classification, segregation, and supervision, which all make your life an institutional one. I think you'd have to be absolutely destitute to submit, really, to the discipline of the new model workhouse. But that, after all, was the point. So this is the workhouse schoolroom. Quite an austere little chamber, but crucial because the vast majority of the poor were always young. Here, some moral education. Happy the child whose tender years receive instruction well, who hates the sinner's path and fears the road that leads to hell. And then built into the structure of the room, you have another feature of segregation. Here, there's frosted glass to make sure any children aren't distracted by the sight of their parents. The architecture of the place shows what the institution is trying to do. It's smashing those central emotional bonds of family, destroying them. It's an extreme deterrent. So there's no trace of the core comfort of home in an institution like this. Once you're in the workhouse, you were an inmate. That's what you were labelled. This is the ladies' dormitory. Communal living was objectionable to the Georgians. The workhouse really was a place of last resort, stripped of any of the prettinesses and individuality of home. What you had lost was rubbed in your face. Your own front door, your dignity, your nest for family life.